Right, buddy, this is the latest Manchester United news. Now we'll be talking some huge news on the takeover, talking about what has gone on today. Some interesting quotes coming in from Chris Wheeler, Ben Jacobs, talking about the future. Talking about the future of Manchester United as well. So let's see what happened and we'll go through all the news. So don't forget, drop a like, comment. And yeah, it's been interesting. Obviously, we had the stuff last week about the whole consortium, but I'll go through it from in the chronological order that has come out. So as I said, last week we got consortium, UAE, Turk Al Sheikh tweet and all that stuff. Now this isn't just today. A spokesperson for the Glazers was not immediately available for comment about Manchester United sales reports on Monday. This is what Ben Jacobs said. There's a group specifically from the UAE that are interested in exploring whether or not they can put together a consortium. And I've actually approached some ex-Manchester United players not to invest, but to be ambassadors. That's where we are at the moment. The group may be advanced in terms of internally putting itself together, but they haven't placed a bid, nor they will have alerted the Glazers yet. We'll have to wait and see how it develops. Louis Whitwell said this on Turk Al Sheikh's tweet about United being in advanced talks to sell to an investor. If you put something out there like that, there's some reason to it, I would say. However, I've got no information to that degree, and United were taken back by it. That being said, we can get onto drag along right soon, but the Glazers could be having talks with their own shares, and Ratcliffe wouldn't know. I'm not saying that it's happening. I don't have any information to say that. He said he slid Turkey a DM and asked him if he clarified anything about his statement. He didn't reply, but he did go public. He basically said, I'm not involved, but I'm hearing suggestions to the extent to back up the first two. It's interesting. Let's see what comes of it. Then Ben Jacobs said this, it's not Saudi, but I'm getting denials from sources that it's Qatar and that Sheikh Jassim may return. But there's a group specifically from the UAE that is interested in exploring whether or not they can put together a consortium and have actually approached some ex-players, but to be ambassadors. That's where we're at the moment. So it's looking like Sheikh Jassim. The Glazers would demand in excess of $6.6 billion, which is £5 billion, to sell up. The previous Qatari bid laid by Sheikh Jassim Al Thani would only go as high as $6.06 billion, which is $0.6 billion short. As £4.57 billion, but that isn't to say another Middle East consortium won't mean the asking price. The one our Sheikh has alluded to is believed to be UAE based. So yeah, listen, £5 billion is the asking price. United, again, they're forever rising club, and I think you look at the state in which United are, we're probably at the best place to be sold now, and I think again Sheikh Jassim, we all got excited when he was going to put a bid. He approached ex-players, but nothing really come of it. And again, when you are buying or you're trying to take equity over Manchester United, it's the biggest football club in the world, one of the highest value clubs. It's obviously going to be very difficult to do with the Glazers' potential reluctance to sell as well. That is never going to be easy to get a deal like that done. So this is always going to be tricky, especially with the Glazers reluctant to sell. But now they're probably more willing to than ever. They know they've got enough money from the club. We know the club's not in the greatest place and there's a lot of scrutiny on the ownership. So this would probably be the perfect opportunity for them to do so. On Sheikh Jassim, I would love for him to take over Manchester United. Anyone who wants to invest money into the club, who actually cares about the club rather than taking dividends and trying to make the club debt free. I mean, that's ultimately what United want to be. We're in a lot of debt. I think it was 650 million last time. So there is a lot of money. And I think you look at the club and the position that it's in financially, it's not in the greatest position. A lot of job cuts, a lot of things happening, which again are not positively affecting the club. But yeah, that's some huge news there. I mean, the fact that the Glazers are willing to sell, there has been a price set of £5 billion, which again is a lot of money, but that is what they value Manchester United as. And as I said, we've all know about the drag along rights with the Glazers being able to talk to investors about potentially bringing in other people to invest in the club or potentially sell the club. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think again, takeover news, until we get something really big, like a lot of it is just going to be rumours. And I think with the takeover of Manchester United, as I said, is the biggest club. Are the Glazers really going to sell? I mean, they've had the club now for 20 years and look at the position that it's in. So there has been many opportunities to sell. I think last year was probably the best opportunity for them to do so. But ultimately, look at it now is if they're willing to sell. There's been more talked about in the investors. We'll see how it does develop. But yeah, let me know your thoughts.